If you're looking forward to save some money, try out this easy and simple tomato paste recipe, which is going to turn out exactly as the supermarket one and very thick. And the best part is it has no preservatives. All you have to do is store it in your freezer and make delicious recipes with the tomato paste. You'll need 2 kgs of fresh tomatoes, and I have mine over here which I've washed, ready to make our tomato paste. So I'm going to pick my tomatoes and cut in half and into quarters, and then I'm going to be transferring into my blender. You can see the inside of the tomatoes are very juicy. Now that I've chopped up my tomatoes, I still have some more over here. So I'm going to add in a cup or half a cup of water to my blender so that the water will help me blend up the tomatoes into a puree. So I'm going to cover my blender and then I'm going to blend the tomatoes until smooth. Once all the tomatoes are fully blended, you're going to be using a metal sieve to sieve your tomatoes so that you can get rid of the seeds and the skin. And I'm going to be showing you a little hack that I saw online. So you'll pick your pot which you're going to be using to cook your tomato paste, place in your metal sieve, and because the pot is very big, it's going to drop in. It's going to slip into the pot. So to secure the metal sieve on your pot, you're going to pick a fork or a spoon and place it on the outside of the sieve, just like that, and then your metal sieve will be secure. That is quite a hack because I'm not going to have a hard time sieving my tomato puree. Using a spoon, you're going to sieve out the tomato puree into the pot. And it's going to be very easy because the tomato puree is very smooth. So I'm going to repeat until all the tomato puree is all sieved up. Add in some more. And repeat until I'm done. While blending up your tomatoes into a tomato puree, don't add in too much water because it's going to take a long time to evaporate the water while making your tomato paste. And as you've seen, my tomatoes are very juicy, so I've added in half a cup of water. So I'm done sieving up my tomato puree into my pot. And as you can see, I have lots of seeds and tomato skin on my metal sieve. Once I'm done, I'm going to make sure to get all the tomato puree into the pot by pressing on the skins and the tomato seeds. And this is what I have after sieving my tomato puree. So now it's time to cook your tomato puree into a tomato paste. So I'm going to place my pot over medium-high flame. And I'm going to be adding in 3 ingredients. So I'm going to add in 1 bay leaf into my pot. And then I'm going to add in a pinch of salt, which is optional, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. The salt is quite optional because you can choose to cook the tomato paste with salt or without salt. Also, I've added in some olive oil. If you don't have some olive oil, you can add in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. That is the regular cooking oil, and you'll be good to go. So once the pot comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the flames to medium low, and then I'm going to simmer for around 20 to 30 minutes until all the water has evaporated and the tomato paste has thickened up. So keep watch over your tomatoes as they cook, because you don't want the tomatoes to scotch. When buying tomatoes to make your tomato paste, always go for the tomatoes that are ripe, because you don't want the tomato paste to be sour when you buy unripe tomatoes. You know how tomatoes can be quite expensive when it's the rainy season or when they're out of season. So you can buy tomatoes when the tomatoes are in season. Make your tomato paste and store in the freezer for future use. And trust me, the tomato paste can last up to 6 months when stored in the freezer. Yes, so it's quite easy to make the tomato paste. So make use of those tomatoes and make some tomato paste. After around 30 minutes to 1 hour, the water has evaporated and the tomato paste has started to splatter. So what you'll do, you'll cover so that you don't mess around your countertop or your cooking area. And then you're going to reduce the flames to low, simmer for another 30 to 1 hour until the water is fully evaporated and your tomato paste is thick. My tomato paste is ready. As you can see, the water is fully evaporated and the tomato paste is very thick. This is how the consistency of my tomato paste is looking like, and as you can see, it's thick and looking very nice. So at this point, I'm going to turn out the flames, and then I'm going to let my tomato paste cool. Remove the bay leaf. Place it aside and let this cool. So it has taken me around 1 hour and a half to make my tomato paste, and as you can see, the water has reduced, and I added in half a cup of water to blend my tomatoes, and it was past halfway. So that means that the tomatoes were very juicy and there was no need of adding any more water, but adding a little splash of water helped me to blend up my tomatoes. So this is a very nice way to conserve tomatoes and keep them in your freezer, ready to make some delicious recipes. I'm going to be keeping mine in an airtight container, and this is going to last for around 2 weeks, and it's going to make it very easy for me while cooking. So hope you'll be trying out this recipe. And before storing the tomato paste in your freezer, let it cool completely and then keep it in your airtight container. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be trying out this easy tomato paste recipe.